Hello everyone and welcome to this year's Symposium. Today we're going to be giving you a brief introduction to a series of videos that were made by the second year students of Licenciatura en Lengua Inglesa, and the topic will be Pioneers of Modern Education. So please join us in this journey of the City of Pioneers of Modern Education. The first stop will be John Amos Comenius. The importance of Comenius was basically he was the first person to argue that children are good. They are essentially good, and it is society who makes them bad along the way while they grow, and it is the society that surrounds them what makes them bad at the end. And arguably, most importantly, he created the first ever picture book. It wasn't a very colorful one like the ones we have now, but to know all about his book and his life in general, you should definitely watch the video that was made by myself and my classmates, Aileen Chapex, Karim Paez, and Jesus Martinez. And the next stop will be Rosao.
Hello, I'm Isabel, and following what my classmate said, did you know that Rousseau is known as the father of early childhood education? Rousseau's theory of education emphasized the importance of expression to produce a well-balanced, free-thinking child. He believed that if children are allowed to develop naturally without constraints imposed on them by society, they will develop towards their fullest potential, both educationally and morally. As a result of his education viewpoint, early childhood education emerged as a child-centered entity rich in unlimited sensory-driven practical experiences. If you want to know more about Rousseau, you will have to go and check the video from my classmates Mónica Acevedo, Aaron Marengo, Fernanda Maidana, and Betarram Rojas.
So, Isabel, you could say that his approach was kids should learn by being kids. Is that right?
Exactly. Kids learn by their nature.
Thank you so much. So next stop will be Pestalozzi.
Hello everyone, this is Monica, and the first thing that we need to know about Pestalozzi is his view on education. For him, education is harmonious and a progressive development of men's innate powers. He also mentioned that humanization and autonomous freedom should be the main goal. He is famously known for his quote, "Use the head, the heart, and the hand in education." He also brings to the table the reasons behind empathy in education, and he also reveals that schools are safe and nurturing environments for children. To find out more and why his ideas are still relevant nowadays, watch our video presented by Antonio Estigarraga, Florencia Covas, and Alejandro Bovary.
So, Monica, just to go back to the use the head, the heart, and the hand quote. So this is basically continuing kind of with the idea that children are good in nature, right? You would say that?
Yes, and I think also for educators that it should not be all like robotized or something like that. It should be putting the knowledge aside for a minute and then using what you have and doing what you can with what you have.
Awesome. It sounds like a good idea. Our next stop will be Floel.
Hi, I'm Mercedes, and in my stop I will talk about Froebel, a German educator and another great pioneer, which we are very thankful for. Are you wondering why? Well, he was the inventor of something very cool. Join us further on our trip and find out more with our classmates, Joel Ovelar, Pamela Ortiz, and Lucas Baez.
He invented something very cool. Can you give us a hint?
It involves children.
Wow, great. That sums it up very nicely. So the next stop will be Dewey.
Hi, it's me again. Following up, it is also my pleasure to introduce John Dewey, probably most famous for his role in what is called progressive education. Do you know what is progressive education? Our classmates, Lucan Recalde, Ezequiel Acuña, Francisca Alvarez, and myself will be talking about this and more. Stay with us.
You are very much leaving us hanging here, Mercedes. I will definitely have to watch the video. So now for the next part, we have Montessori.
Hello, this is Francisca, and I want to point out that Montessori is the only woman that we have in the group of pioneers, and her famous quote is, "Every child has an innate potential and an ability to learn in an environment of love and freedom." If you want to find out what are the implications of the input of Montessori in the current education system, go and watch the videos about her theory that were made by our classmates, Agostina Alvarez, Evelyn Benitez, Jasmine Ramirez, Violeta Salinas, and Maya Villalba.
So, Francisca, this theory sounds very interesting. It could be only applied to education, or it could be used in other fields.
You can use this method to raise your children.
A parenting style, pretty nice. So the next step will be Piaget.
Piaget's goal of education is to increase the amount of knowledge, to create the possibilities for a child to invent and discover, to create men who are capable of doing new things. Piaget's idea were ahead of his time because he envisioned the world that we live in nowadays. A globalized world led by technological companies and content creators that use their creativity to make our lives greater. Take a look at Piaget's journey of education in our video and find out why his theory of cognitive development is still relevant today. Victoria Paez, Noelia Ortiz, and myself will join you there.
So you could say that he believed that education was based on the future instead of the past, right?
Yes, in fact, he mentioned that education at his time, it was just repeating itself.
Interesting thought indeed. So our almost last stop will be Vygotsky.
Do you know that Vygotsky developed a social cultural view of education, claiming that our social and cultural context affects how we learn? If you want to know more about Vygotsky theory and how to apply that in classroom settings, go and watch the video of our classmates Susana Jimenez, Sara Garcia, Josué Leiva, Jesus Barrio, and Sofía Espínola.
Well, human beings are social creatures, so I believe he's right.
Yes.
So sadly, our last stop for today will be Freire.
Hello, it's me again. And Freire asked himself some questions like, is the education fair? Is the education justified? Was there equality in the education of the 20th century? Imagine if we could develop a critical consciousness in all our learners through our pedagogy. This is what the Brazilian educator and philosopher Paulo Freire advocated. Critical consciousness, Freire hoped learners would go on to be the people who change society by overcoming oppression and making the world a fairer place for everyone. Paulo Freire imagined a world where all learners develop their critical consciousness. Now you can do too. If you want to watch the video of my classmates, Camila Villalba, Montserrat Casal, Nadia Mesa, Noemi Benitez, and myself, please go and check the video on YouTube.
That is a very beautiful thought. And also you can almost kind of relate this, what Freire said, to Vygotsky, right? Because it is basically education in a social setting.
It is indeed. It is the education for liberating people.
It was a very good theory. So this was our last stop, sadly, for today. But although the brief introduction is said and done, we hope that you really enjoyed this presentation, and most importantly, that you go watch all the videos about all these wonderful people that did so many things to bring what the modern education is to what we know. Thank you so much. Have a great day.